back to Paris. So he drank that up, and then he stole her wallet. And when we got to the station, he gave me a shot. He says, "Come on, run!" So I run with him because never can tell what was going to happen, you know. So we wandered around town for till it got dark. We went a couple taverns here and there and everything like that. We seen all the sights, and then we got a room. And first thing you want to do is have a madame come up, you know. I said, forget about that because I seen too many pictures. So he had his time, and we went back. We got on the train, and this was, when we pulled in, our group was standing there, so we had to run 2 blocks to get to MP, not the MP, but to what's it called, room, you know, day room. And he says, well, he says, go get to the berth. If you can make her, you can't. So we run up there, and we just got there until the train was pulling out. but that was pretty close, you know. Well, I don't know how many miles we traveled, but we traveled the front line then, you know. Our division had a front of 80 miles. So you can imagine how thin it was, you know. But then the 199th come in and relieved us, and we went to join the rest of the division, you know. That's when the ball started. They said the Germans got nothing, you know, anymore, you know. But they had a lot. We thought the war was over. That's what they told us, you know. The war is going to be over. When we was before we moved there, we could see the Germans over there. We could hear tanks, but we told them, the head ones there, they're just trying to scare you, you know. So we let it go at that. And then when we moved on the 16th, I think it was, and we struck on the 17th. And hard to believe. There was so much confusion that you didn't know what was going on. I mean, there were Germans, and there were paratroopers, and there were inflators, and you didn't know what's going on, you know. And that was the scary part of it, you know. They were all roadblocks are all set there and everything like that. But what did that make the Germans? They went around them, you know. But then it froze, and they couldn't really go around them because they had to stay on the road. So it was like fog for about a week. That's when they struck. I moved about 4 times, you know, but the ground is so goddamn hard that you almost wreck your what's it called? But once you broke past the frost, then it was easy, you know. But we moved maybe 3 times, you know, all the time moving them back, you know. Our division was in contract with the enemy for 300 some days anyway. There was about 10 days that they weren't in contact with them and trying to stay alive. But we did the thing with dig and shoot and dig and shoot, and, you know. I got sick. It was about the 17th of December, I remember that. I got sick, I threw up and all that stuff like that. And I went back to they sent me to the aid station, and there I took off my underwear and washed it out, you know, because I had to have something like that. So anyway, while that was drying, we got to move, you know. So here I am without without an underwear on. I got a OD on and what's it called? Yeah, and then I had a tanker overall, you know, which was good. But the idea of that wind blowing up your leg got sort of cool. And I think it was about 4 days that I before I got that dried out, that I could put it back on, you know. And it was worse weather than we got now. You know, it was 25 and 35 below zero, you know, and wind, you know. They're usually at dawn, they come running, you know. But they were in the woods, you couldn't see what they were doing, but at dawn, in the fog and everything like that, it was hard to see anything, you know. You were really scared. You knew that they were there and that's why you were shooting, you know. But sometimes they were over here, you know. But it was scary. I was in a field and a building blew up and it hit me in the eyes. And I couldn't see for a little bit, see? And the medic, he says, "You sit there." He gave me a shot. He says, "You sit here, I'll be back." And by that time, my eyes started to come back, you know. So then I went and joined the outfit again, you know. But they counted it as a wound, you know. You know, here, I'm shell shocked, and I can't see, but little by little, it's come back, you know. Like my eyes right now, you see they're bloodshot. That's from that, you know, from the shot in the eyes.
4 weeks later, their frozen bodies, hands and ankles bound, were found where they fell.
Yeah. We went through Malmedy, you know, on the way to where we dug in, but maybe 4 or 5 days afterwards. Yeah, that was quite sad. But you know what the score was? Hitler says, "Kill them all." You know, kill them all. We need this here article, so kill them. So that's what they did. You were right. Although a friend of mine, Gibby Ruffers, you know him, he was captured, and they didn't kill him. Him and about 40 other guys. They marched them back to Germany, and they were, all the while, they marched for about 3 months. Well, in a way, you didn't, you know, I never kept anything that belonged to German, you know, because if they find that on you, bang, you know, just like that, you know. The weather cleared, and Patton came, and then the Air Corps. The Air Corps took care of everything, you know. You looked up and there was all kinds of airplanes and they were dropping bombs and they were dropping, you know, strafing and everything like that. They were having a good time. We moved back, you know. But it wasn't nothing like the blows, nothing like that. They were shattered, you know. They were nothing but shells and stuff like that, you know. And the woods are stripped of the branches, some of them were from bombs and stuff like that. So you get a shell burst, you know, instead of coming down and blowing, it blows up here and blows all over. You're not safe for anything there. Yeah, well, those are blocks, you know, they had there. We went through there like a sieve, you know. My book over there tells all about it, you know. But we went through there like a sieve. And then we went as far as the Rhine River, and at that time they were still fighting, trying to get across the Ragoon River, and we went across some boats, rubber raft, about a mile down the river. We were at the Rhine River. We said, "What are we going to do now?" And here come the Navy with a bunch of rubber boats, you know, rafts. We get in, and we plowed across the river. We regrouped, and then we started walking, you know. And there was no resistance until we met the first village. That's one of the first resistance we had. We came up. The only way there was through the stream, and they were bombing throwing phosphorus shells, burning. And here you're in the middle of the river. What are you going to do? You're just dodging. And then finally, after about 10 minutes, they quit. But then they had the place burning, and that's what they wanted to see. We're in Germany. We're across the Rhine, and about 4 days later, the tanks come. So they had built a bridge so the tanks could get through. And then we had it was like a picnic. We'd get on, those tanks could only go about 25 miles on a gallon, not a gallon, but a tank full. And then we'd have to stop, and at night they'd bring up fuel. Next morning we'd go take off. But the only hard thing about that, we had a hot breakfast. They brought the kitchens in, and then they threw us a K ration and say, "Don't eat it until you're hungry." Well, we came upon the Autobahn later on, but we crossed the Autobahn. Although part of our division was headed for Leipzig, and then they got we went up to Leipzig, and then there was a sign printed there: "You are entering Leipzig for the courtesy of the 29th Division." When we come to a little town, they'd all be standing there, wondering what's going to happen to them, And otherwise, what we do, we'd come to the house, we'd run through it, see what the hell we got. Any guns or swords or anything, we'd break them, And it was a shame that some of those guns, they were so pretty. As we were on the trucks going towards into Germany, you see a lot of people just with a bag of something on their shoulder and wondering what the hell is going to happen to them. I know a guy that captured a prison camp, and they give them food, and they all got sick. Well, we all at night when we stop, the first thing we do is look for the chicken coop and for the eggs. See, so then we kill the chicken and have a fried chicken at midnight, and have eggs for in the morning. Oh, every day. We went to one place there, and we couldn't find no chicken, but this guy had a goose. He had a pet goose. And somehow the dog, the sucker got lost during the night. And was he ever mad? Where's my goose? He was running around. Everybody was going like this. We knew something was going to happen because there was no resistance. A little bit here and there, But like when we come in this town, and it was during the daytime, and we stayed there overnight, and in the night, get him! So there was a Kraut there. He's trying to steal a Jeep to get the hell out of there, but he was dead by the time he hit the ground. We were walking on this road, and we were, let's see, I'm trying to think of places. But anyway, we were on this here road. It was higher than the valley down there, see. And all of a sudden, bang, 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 come from a hole in the what's it called. So then we all like that, and out come the white flag, young kid with a uniform on. He was Hitler Youth. He's so goddamn scared he couldn't do nothing, But we've seen a few of them little assholes, Yeah, they're kids. Who wants to kill a kid? I don't know. I remember it because we were in Germany, in there, and this here Kraut, he says, Roosevelt kaput. And we said, Hitler kaput. But that's how we found out that Roosevelt was dead,
With the Allies and the Russians drawing within range of each other, Both forces had to use extreme caution to keep from finding themselves suddenly firing into or overrunning the other's lines.
The Elbe River, we were supposed to cross that, and we weren't supposed to cross it. We were supposed to meet the Russians there, and we met them, and I'm glad we moved out because, you know, them suckers, they kiss on the lips, and, you know, and everything like that. And you imagine how their breath smells, you know. Here's what happened. You know, there's always looting and shooting, you know, and everything like that. So this here one guy, he got in his warehouse, it was full of cognac and champagne. So he come back to the company and got a Jeep, and he got 4 of those, they were about that wide and about that long, you know, full of jars, you know, jugs of champagne. So everybody had about four jugs of champagne on, and we had a good time but then the goddamn officer, they said, "Where'd you get that?" And the guy says, "Well, we got a warehouse full down there. Show me." So the guy showed him, you know, and then there was a guard put on because we couldn't go down there no more. The officers had their what's it called? And one guy went down there and the guy shot at him. We were there 3 or 4 days, and all of a sudden we get orders that we had to go out to guard these roads because they found out that the Russians were through in Prague, you know, and they come towards Pilsen, and they wanted Pilsen. So our general went out there and asked them where the papers were, and they couldn't prove it, you know, that they were what they were trying to do is gobble up territory, you know. So we stayed there, I think about 4 or 5 days a week, but we used to come in from guard duty, and these people in there, they were so goddamn glad that we were there that they give us potato soup, you know. That was pretty good the first time, but when you get it every day, it gets pretty tough. They didn't want to they wanted us to take them. And what you did, just send them back, you know. And you were going this way and you waved them that way. Mostly soldiers, you know. But civilians too, they'd see them with their little packet full of goodies, you know.
Complete Nazi capitulation came on May 7th at Reims, when the Allies, represented by General Eisenhower's Chief of Staff, General Walter Bedell Smith, accepted the surrender of Colonel General Alfred Jodl on behalf of the Nazi High Command.
All hostilities were to cease at midnight on May 8th. The surrender instrument was signed by Jodl at 2:41 in the morning of May 7, 1945.
85 points, you stayed there. I had 73 points, but I had to come home. I had 2 Purple Hearts. I had infantryman's rifle, 15 points. Then you got so much for each month you were in. And well, I had 73 points anyway, but I had to come home, you know, with the what's it called. But then well, I was home, the thing in Europe, Japan was dead. We were in Czechoslovakia and we went to Le Havre, and then we got on the USS Normandy, and got sabotaged in the in the harbor in New York. But it got floated right and fixed up and come picked us up, you know. 4.5 days. Fort Shank, wherever that is, New Jersey, I guess. But by luck, the war was over then. My mom and my sister-in-law, they took me out to Kellnersville for chicken, you know. And here I'm out there at 6 o'clock when the bells start ringing, you know. And I didn't get back to the pier till, must have been 9:30, 10 o'clock, and everybody was hooping it up and everything like that. I was about 4 hours behind time.